Martin here. Recently I was asked some questions about the Trangia stove, and since my wife and I have been using the Trangia stove for many years on all of our camping and canoe camping trips, and I consider myself an experienced user with the Trangia stove, I thought I'd devote a video to describing it and explaining how it works. When we're not cooking on an open campfire, this is the stove that we use. It looks huge and elaborate, but it actually compacts down fairly small, as you'll see in a moment. I just want to show you what it looks like when it's fully built up. Alright, first of all, they give you a pot gripper, this lid. These are non-stick pans and pots. You can get them in a standard aluminum coating without the non-stick coating. You get two pots that nest, small pot, large pot, and this of course is your frying pan or skillet. This top part here is a windscreen. It comes off like that. This is the actual stove or burner, and this is the base. It all fits together like this. Here's your base. It's got holes on the top and on one side and not on the other, so that you can control the amount of airflow coming into the bottom of the stove. There's a large hole here where you could put in the hose of another stove system. So if you had another burner that you wanted to put in here, you could, and your hose could run out here to your fuel bottle if you wanted to do that. This is the burner. It rests in here. The burner comes in three parts. This is a reducing ring. This is the screw-on lid. And this is the burner. The burner here is full of methyl hydrate or methylated spirits. It's a kind of alcohol. It's clean, it's quiet, it's odorless and smokeless, so when you cook with this you don't get a sooty black smoky fire. You won't hear it. You'll see a faint blue flame, but that's about all. And that's one of the nicer features of this stove, is when you're cooking with it, it doesn't give you that big roaring noise that whisper lights and other butane, propane, and white gas stoves tend to do. There's no real moving parts, no parts that can fail, and so it makes it a virtually idiot-proof stove. The burner fits in the stand like this, and then you just light it with a match. I'll be doing that later as I do a boil test, but right now I just want to keep talking about the parts of the stove. If you were to just boil water on it, you'd put this stand on here. It has notches right here that fit into tabs here, and then twist on so that the whole thing is one piece now. It's extremely sturdy. It's really hard to tip over. And that's another nice feature of it. A lot of stoves are kind of flimsy, have kind of flimsy bases. This has actually a nice wide base, hard to tip over, and a good solid windscreen. No wind's going to get through there, but there's plenty of air holes here, and you can control the air intake, as I said, by turning it around to the solid side or the side with the holes. Inside the windscreen are these brackets. These brackets are pot hangers. You'll see that they're kind of staircase shaped. You can flip them down. You can put in a small pot like that to boil your water. Put in the larger pot. It rests on the next step up. Or you can flip the brackets outward and rest your skillet or frying pan on it. Notice that these pots don't have lids, so if you put the small pot in the bottom and you need a lid to boil your water so that it doesn't take too long to boil, you just put the larger pot on top and that serves as your lid. Similarly, if you're boiling or cooking something in the large pot and you need a lid, you just use your skillet and that works fine. If you were just boiling water, as I said, you would just use the burner like this, completely open. But if you wanted to reduce the flame, let's say you were cooking up the spaghetti sauce and you didn't want to boil it right down to nothing, you could put this reducing ring on, and that would actually cut off all of the little round holes here, little jets here, and reduce the fire just to this area right here, as opposed to the jets that will burn around. And you can reduce it that way. Or If you want to reduce it further, you just turn it to whatever degree you want, nearly closed. And when you want to smother the fire, well, you can just do this and snuff the fire. There's a little air hole here. It helps if you use your pot gripper here to snuff that fire out completely. This is a really nice feature. It's a very, very easy way to control your flame and have a nice simmer. I mean, I can fry eggs using this reducing ring. I can fry my eggs over easy without fear of burning them. There's that much control, and it's hard to do that with a lot of stoves. The downside, though, of this is that once it's in position, if you need to open it or close it, it's kind of hard to do. It's hot. And with only one pot gripper, it's kind of difficult. It so happens I have a second pot gripper from another Trangia kit that we have, and so that makes it easy. You can just open it up like that without any difficulty. But if you only have one pot gripper, you're going to want to use some other metal utensil or something like that to hold that down. If you need to remove it, you can just use the pot gripper and grab it like that and take that off. When you're done with the stove and it's cooled, you can remove it from the stand and put the lid on. The lid has a tiny rubber gasket inside, and the nice thing about that is it screws on tight and it won't spill. And as a result, if you've got too much alcohol in here, let's say you've filled this burner up with your large fuel bottle and you put too much fuel in here, it's kind of hard to pour something like this back into a narrow-necked fuel bottle. You don't have to with this system. You just close it up and you're good. It's also useful in winter. In winter, fuel, when it gets really, really cold, doesn't ignite very well. If you have this kind of system, you can actually put this in the pocket of your coat and your body temperature will keep it warm, or you can keep it in your sleeping bag overnight, and consequently it'll be easy to light in the morning without any kind of priming. Okay. Actually, so now I should show you how this all fits together. So that's the stove, all three parts together. When you're ready to put it away and pack it up, just pass the strap through like this. Yep. Just put that through backwards. The strap goes through these little slots here. Put the windscreen inside the stand. Flip up the brackets. Put in the large pot. Put in the small pot. Put in your stove and your pot holder. Anything else you want in there. Now naturally you wouldn't want the inside of your Teflon pots to get scratched that way, so you'd probably use a rag or a Ziploc bag or something like that to hold these sorts of things in there. But as you can see, there's plenty of room in here left for cutlery, lighters, matches, paper towels, dish rags, sponges, anything you might want in your cook kit. And that's exactly what we do, actually. We keep a lot of stuff in there. Okay. And then flip the brackets down and put the lid on. When you buy the kit, it actually comes with little pot separators so their pots won't scratch against each other, and a little plastic sheet that goes like this, so you can put the skillet back on the top and tighten it up with the strap. And there is your cook kit. Just about everything you need except cups. And there's enough room in there that if you have nice stacking cups, you could fit them in there. So that's one of the reasons we like the Trangia kit. It's lightweight, it's complete, it's kind of bomb-proof, it's easy to use, the fuel is inexpensive, it has no parts that can fail, it's completely self-contained. And if you don't already have a cook kit and you're looking to buy a cook kit and a stove, this is actually a pretty good buy. You can get the whole thing at Mountain Equipment Co-op or a similar store for $77. There's one more thing I'd like to show you. When I actually go camping, I like to bring pot cozies along. Something that people do is they make pot cozies for their pots. It's a really clever idea. Never heard of it until very recently, but it seems that actually quite a lot of people do this. I want to give some credit to Matty the Goose and his website and his YouTube videos for introducing me to these. All you do is go out to your hardware store and buy some heating duct insulation material, which is basically bubble wrap with some silvery coating on the inside and the outside. You cut it into the appropriate shape and you just tape it up with aluminum tape, which is the kind of tape that they sell with this material in hardware stores. If you're cooking a meal, let's say it's a two-part meal, you're cooking spaghetti, you have to heat up the pasta sauce and boil some water. If, let's say you've cooked up the spaghetti sauce enough and you want to take it off the fire and cook your pasta, but you don't want the spaghetti sauce to get too cold, just do this. And I have pot cozies for both my pots, and not just for my pots, but for this Nalgene container, which I use for rehydrating our dehydrated foods, which we do in boiling hot water. So, following Maddie the Goose's advice, I made some pot cozies. But of course, this all is quite bulky, although it's very, very light. So how to pack it? Well, one of the nice things about this kit is there's just enough play, just enough wiggle room in the kit that you can actually fit all of this extra material in the kit at no significant increase in weight. So I just want to show you how that works. Put the strap through this little slot here. Put one pot cozy there, my large pot in that. Little slip of plastic here. A little bubble wrap to prevent my pots from scraping together. Cram another pot cozy in there. Take my Nalgene kit, put my burner and alcohol in there, put that in here, put the lid on in here, put the hole inside the kit. You'll notice there's actually room still in the Nalgene container for a lot more bits and pieces like lighters and sponges and paper towels and things like that. Put that in like that. I forgot a piece. Sorry. The windscreen's got to go in first. Then all this goes in like that. Fold in the brackets. There's even room to put your pot gripper. Put this little piece of plastic in here that comes with the Trangia kit to protect your skillet. Put that on top like that. Strap it down. Good and tight. And there it is.